Hey everybody, happy holiday ops. This video I'm going to be doing some large box openings. For the holiday ops event, it just kicked off, here this week, and it kind of runs through December and January. We're going to see how this kind of works when it comes to opening up 200, so 50 of each, basically Christmas style boxes here for the large boxes currently. So all the new stuff when it comes to the tier 8 tanks and basically the styles and even the mid-tier tanks and stuff I do not have in my garage. So pretty much going in, kind of blindly here, where we'll see if 50 of each box, totaling 200 is enough to actually hopefully luckily get all of this, without having to buy anymore. I do have the two previous, so the 122 TM and the Cody T56. They're already in my garage. However, when it comes to the Tornwagen, Caliban, M4Y, and the mid-tier to low-tier tanks and the styles, I do not. So we'll kind of open things up here. When it comes to this year, they do kind of have a nifty, I guess, thing to keep track of things, which already, I guess, on the second box here, we opened up a tier 8 tank. If I'm assuming this looks like the Caliban, maybe? Yes. Uh-oh. I guess it doesn't like me clicking out of... I'm not allowed to click out of the window, or else it freezes here. Awesome. This tank, though, is pretty nice, where it's going to be kind of, I guess, the derpiest of the bunch, which I did get the PZ M15 as well. It's definitely going to be interesting, whether you do well on it or not, to where it's kind of like your tier 8, like FV 4005 or KV2 even, where you're gonna have good games, you're gonna have terrible games. Having the 2-round basically derp gun it has, not really anything great here. There was a bit of controversy when it comes to the NA server, because they typoed about the large boxes, where you're supposed to not duplicate the decorations here. However, that only works, from my understanding, on the Asian server due to that specific region. They've kind of had that, for the entirety of holiday ops. But all other regions do not. NA kind of did a typo where it doesn't work like that on NA, and they are compensating people who bought the boxes during that time, thinking it worked that way. However, they do not work that way. You can get duplicate decorations and ornaments. So we got the Sheridan style. The 3D styles actually look pretty good this go around, albeit, typical wargaming fashion, they like to put gigantic things on top of on top of the tanks. This video is mainly me going to be opening up the boxes. I'm not specifically going to be essentially previewing and looking at everything. That's going to be a different video. It's going to be pretty easy, though, to get the mid-tier tanks, to where the drop percentages on those are pretty high. I like to tell everybody this, this year and also all previous years, you don't buy these specifically for the tier 8 tanks, like the headliners, because you're not guaranteed to get those. Like currently, I did get one, basically fairly early on in the second box here at the Caliban. However, you're only guaranteed, which it's a pretty good metric that they put in this year, where you are guaranteed a tier 8 premium every 50 boxes you open. So that, it's a pretty good thing that they added in, because some people got really bad luck in previous years, and they opened like 100 boxes, and not get anything when it comes to tier 8s. So I do like that they added that in. But that's where we're almost to that already, where even though I got that Caliban on the second box, I haven't gotten a tier 8 since then. So we're pretty close to getting, another tier 8 here, and another 7 boxes if we don't hit it here. So that is a nice feature. I like that they put that in. But at the same time, you do have to kind of, I guess temper your expectations, because some people will get insanely lucky. You know, this is where it works in wargaming's favor. They run to like Reddit or make a YouTube video or something like, oh my god, I bought 5 boxes and I got 4 premium tanks. You know, you're mainly buying the boxes a lot of times for gold, premium time, and just the other random stuff that comes along with it, and especially like the little ornaments and stuff you get, you know, throughout the way or along the way, because everything else is basically a crapshoot, especially the high tier tanks that are in the boxes. The best tank out of the bunch of them is honestly this Cody T56. That tank's actually completely broken if you ask me. The 3 new tanks though I think are pretty interesting and fun. That's for another video though. Alright, we're just getting through this, which I guess I could probably hit escape. So far just opening up 50 boxes. I'm at atmosphere level, we'll see what it'll be. Alright, so far 50 boxes in. Alright, let's open up these, which guaranteed to get a tank on that. So, you know, that we went the full 50 boxes essentially before getting that. And it looks like it might be a, nope, it's the M4, oops. So this I'll give Wargaming credit, you know, for doing. It's a very, you know, not generous, because obviously they're doing it to make money, but it is a nice feature that they added in, that you're guaranteed to, you know, get that. Because nobody likes having bad RNG. Alright, we'll keep going here. We got the KV shielded here. Got the M4 D6, and then we actually got a duplicate N15. And they do have up here, which is very nice. So it gives you kind of a breakdown of what you got. So that's definitely something nice. The only thing, so at the very bottom there, like it says vehicles compensated in gold. So the what is it? The PZ M15 I got. So that was the first compensation I got. Doesn't really tell you specifically what one. It just generalized, you know, adds to that item list. So far though, so you know, we're a little over 50 boxes in here. I only got 1 3D style. There are quite a few 3D styles, and there's ones from previous years if you don't have them, from my understanding. Otherwise, they don't drop. And then we got another duplicate here in the M15. Let's keep opening here, and we ended up getting it. Talking about 3D styles, it's like Wargaming's listening to me here. We got the one for the Rhino, everybody's favorite tank. You know, maybe if we could use those 2 bazooka launchers on top of them, it would actually make the tank playable, and it wouldn't suck. Hey, and BZ55 took me a second. I'm like, why is it showing me this go to T56? I already have that tank. Overall, this time of the year is, yeah, it's definitely a good time of year for World of Tanks, because, you know, you're definitely earning more credits, you're getting a bunch of freebies, even if you're not buying boxes. It's usually a ton of giveaways, in addition to, you know, just overall, like, you have a lot of bonuses for playing this time of the year, and a lot new tanks coming into the game. This year is kind of the, I guess, the most amount of new content that we've had in the large holiday ops boxes. You know, there's never been as many new tanks, especially low and mid-tier tanks. Like, I really like that they added in a lot of low and mid-tier. I know not too many people will care about that, but it does kind of help out the matchmaking queue for a bunch of new players coming into the game. And overall, like, mid-tier tanks are actually pretty fun to play, if you ask me. I'm assuming this is the Tornwagen. It's going to be the hold-down monster of Tier 8. Unless you have some silly penetration with a heat round or something to punch through it. And like I said, I am going to be kind of making a video doing some reviews of the new tanks that are in the boxes, which we actually just got a Skoda T56, so a pretty good chunk of gold there. So far I'm going to get through half the boxes before we kind of do like a little mid recap here. Now another thing with the event too, we got the best 3D style out of all of them. This one's, way over the top, but the FP4005 actually looks pretty cool with its 3D style and like the sound effects and everything. Even though it's definitely over the top, it's pretty neat, even how this kind of works and moves around and stuff within the battle. Now, there is, so like when it comes to holiday ops, my second favorite thing that Wargaming did was tone down the whole Snow Maiden thing. Thank God, like it was cringe. Like it was like weird, shoving, those creepy 3D styles in your face. Like it, have them as crew members, whatever, but like, thank God they got rid of it. I think the friends post idea is awesome. Get people to make more friends in game, or even, just random people. You don't actually have to talk to them, but a little bit of community, like gift giving spirit. I love that. It kind of replaced a little bit of the Snow Maiden thing, not in the same way. And currently, so like halfway through here before I get to my next little topic. So far, 100 boxes in, which, when it comes to price, I guess is, I don't even know, so 100 boxes, it's like what, 125 bucks or so. Now these boxes are from Wargaming, that they gifted out to CCs. I usually buy some myself as well, but I open these up, kind of ahead of time. But so far, so going off of that value, so the gold value is pretty high that I've gotten. So I've got some duplicate premium tanks. So that's definitely, it's almost always worth your bang for your buck, unless you're specifically going for like one tank. They usually sell the new tanks in the boxes typically by like late spring at the latest. Early summer they re-release and sell the tanks. So if you want one tank, like a tier 8 or something out of the bunch, don't chase yourself down a rabbit hole. But otherwise we got some, we got a very large amount of premium tanks, which some of that gold kind of feeds into. All right, so we'll keep opening here. Now, one thing that is different this year with holiday ops, not specifically with the boxes, obviously we have the guaranteed tier 8 premium every 50 boxes, and unfortunately you can get duplicated ornaments unless you're on the Asian server. They don't duplicate on there from my understanding. They kind of switched it up a little bit, where a lot of people before, you would just buy like 150 boxes, 100 boxes, something. You could get the festive level, level 10 pretty much right off the get-go, and max things out, have your credit booster. They switched it up a little bit, and this is where, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but at least my initial impressions on what they did is, a lot of times, so you'll see Wargaming's events are tied to getting people to play the game more. So what they did is, so there's weekend events and missions with a lot of shards and basically rewards for holiday ops, the event, that you actually have to play, which we got another nice chunk of gold here, with another Skoda T56, where they tied a lot of, I guess, the progress. Don't get me wrong, you can buy your way to level 10, but it's going to cost you another like 50 bucks or so, if I had to make an educated guess, to doing missions and kind of playing every day, but also doing the friends, the friend gifting, through the little post office they have. You're going to have to take advantage of that, get and receive stuff, but also you're going to have to, try to play more, which, they're always trying to do for an older game, is get people to play more. So like so far here, 150 boxes in, festive level 8. But, it's not too much of a surprise leveling that up. Now getting to the last 50 here. Another little thing too that a lot of people miss, and this is where definitely go to worldoftanks.com and like read their holiday ops guide, where you can also read it partially, you know, basically within the client as well. They have kind of like an info guide. I got a 122 TM finally. That duplicated though. I'd rather just keep pulling Cody T56s and getting another 10,000 plus gold. That's completely fine with me. But I still haven't gotten, I believe, the Object 268 version 4 style and also the ST2 style I haven't gotten. So I'm still missing 2 styles, you know, almost 200 boxes in here. The 3D styles seem to be the hardest to kind of nail down. So one thing is when you get ornaments, you get basically bonus points for your festive level for putting them on your tree, which I feel like Wargaming has me bugged here. You can give, okay Wargaming, you can give me the 268 version 4 style here, so I get everything. That would be nice. You have to kind of put the ornaments, whether you want to keep them on your like tree in the garage. Ah, there we go. Thank you Wargaming. You know, hi. You have to actually put them like in the slot and activate them because it gives you points towards, I guess, your overall holiday ops level. A lot of people, so if you just, like previous years, you're getting ornaments, you have like ton of duplicates and stuff. After you blow through and like spend all your money and basically buy a bunch of boxes, you're kind of missing out on some progress for the holiday ops mode if you don't actually activate that ornament for the very first time. So that's something that you're going to want to keep in mind, because a lot of people just, you know, threw the highest level ornaments and then basically broke everything else, and you're kind of missing out, you know, initially, to where you're still going to accrue them over time and then you can put them in. But that's one thing that a lot of people did not read and just jumped in blindly, and then they're kind of upset basically, which we're getting, holy crap, we're getting a bunch of low tier tanks here. But, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. I'll see if I can look at that without getting too lost. Overall, though, when it comes to, you know, basically 200 boxes here, you know, when it comes to like the overall, I got a crap ton of gold because I got a lot of duplicate tanks. Because, you know, after those, you know, I got the new tanks, you know, for the first time, everything else is duplicating. I ended up getting all 3D styles though, all mid-tier, low-tier, high-tier tanks. So, you know, like the boxes are worth it in the long run, but just like every other year, I stress to people, like, do not buy these if you're just trying to get, say, a Skoda T56, or if you're trying to get a Tornwagen or Caliban. Like, if that's all you care about, if you don't need World of Tanks Premium Time, you don't need credits, you don't need gold, you don't care about the 3D styles, don't chase after one tank. You should never do that. But if you're going to be, you know, say if you plan on playing World of Tanks for the next year, like you're not burned out, you know, you still enjoy the game, and you see yourself playing this for another year, like coming up in January, early February, we have a new American tank line. Hopefully, you know, Crew 2.0, the sandbox goes pretty well for that, coming up most likely in February, if I had to guess. Because that'll be a massive make it or break it thing, you know, for wargaming in the community. And then most likely we're going to have, you know, maps sprinkled in, ranked battles come back. So yeah, new maps, and, you know, hopefully, you know, maybe if the crew changes go over well, then maybe they can work on premium round changes finally, since they did HE and RD this past year. But, you know, if you don't see yourself like loving the game, you definitely have to keep things in perspective to where you're going to be getting a lot of gold, which, you know, you use for like the battle pass, so it is useful there. And also you can use that basically for premium time. You're going to be getting premium time and then a lot of premium tanks and stuff and random stuff. You're not guaranteed anything specific. So keep that in mind. And, you know, overall, so talking about, so we got Festive Atmosphere level 9. Lots and lots of stuff. And going back to the garage here. So right now, I'm not going to go through but this video of doing everything when it comes to like the ornaments and everything. However, so you're going to want to, so I'm trying to see, just trying to get these. So +3. And then let's just throw another thing in here. They changed it up though when it comes to obviously the ornaments, so where before you'd have like tier 1, level 2, you know, stuff like that. Alright, so at this point, you got that +3 for that first one. However, a lot of people just fail to see this. You know, it's pretty apparent to me. I thought it would be a little bit less straightforward. But you're essentially going to be throwing all of these in, and then afterwards, you know, you pick your most favorite ones. Because if you're not doing this, you're missing out on all of these, which it is a little bit tedious. Honestly, like initial impressions, I think this is a little bit better than how they did before, because, you know, it's essentially before, if you weren't using the max, like tier 5, I think it was, ornament, there's no freaking point in using them, you know, after you level everything up. But I see a lot of people kind of like, oh, well, I bought like 200 boxes, 150 boxes, and I'm not like atmosphere level 10 and stuff. A lot of people miss this, though, where you're not putting basically these in, which I had a ton of ornaments still to go to, you know, do that. And I still have a ton of things here left to basically put in. And that's where, you know, a little bit of, I guess, people antsy, which don't get me wrong, you know, holiday ops, it's definitely a fun time for a lot of people. And, you know, some people just jump right in without kind of reading the fine print or seeing what changed, or maybe you just watched like somebody's YouTube video and they didn't explain it properly. And, you know, last but not least, like obviously you do have kind of the large decorations here too. And we'll craft these. Hopefully I'm not messing it up. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just have to kind of take things and look a little bit, you know, I guess closer before you dive in, because you might miss that little thing, like putting the ornaments in before you break them, and then you're kind of screwed. Like overall here, so I crafted 3 out of the 4 large decorations. Going to be a lot, basically, to where I'm going to have to break all the ornaments I don't want, so I'm not going to put that in the video here because it'll make it a lot longer. But I'll be able to craft this last large thing, and basically max out my atmosphere and credit bonuses and everything like that. But in any event, though, thank you very much for watching this, guys, and, you know, hopefully I'll be making another video with kind of a breakdown of all the new tanks that we'll find in Holiday Ops 2022 here. Thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you around in the next video. Have a good one.